went to pull off, turned round, realised the starboard side engine wasn't working right. You can see there the selector cable has come undone, so it's from that bracket there. Hopefully that will just be it. So you 100% have to be practical if you want to own and certainly live on a boat. So my diesel heater stopped working yesterday. Came up with an error code which I believe is glow plug. As you can see, I've got a correct tool here from removing them. I've got one on order, but it's not come till the end of the month, and there's rumours of a cold spell coming, so I've come back from Runnymede, got to Shepperton, gone up to my parents where I keep my van and grabbed the glow plug. Now, before anyone out there starts saying, well, that's what you get for buying the Chinese diesel heater, don't be hating on it yet, watch till the end.
Whoop, whoop. Here I come. Oh, here I come.
Out of the one I've got in my van, which I'm gradually taking parts off. So hopefully this will work. I'll repeat what I said this morning, you've got to be practical if you live on a boat. I thought it was a glow plug based on the code it gave me, but the information I read for the code was incorrect. It was actually low fuel. So after replacing the glow plug, which didn't work, I tracked it down to the original copper pipe which was fitted to the boat and went to the original unit. Had a fracture in it, not enough to leak fuel but enough to draw air in. So I've taken that rubber hose straight down there to the outlet here now, which then goes up to the filter, to the pump, into the unit, and it's working like a champ. Now, I'm not going to knock the original brands, the ones that sounds like Tabasco. They were very quick to say these cheaper units were a fire hazard, but you've only got to look on YouTube the amount of testing that's been done. And other than the cheap fuel line they supply, which is why I've bought the correct stuff, and the casting on things like the metal cooling fins are thinner, they're a great unit. Out of 8 to 9 units, diesel heater units I've heard that have packed up, only one has ever been a Chinese diesel heater. The other has been those more expensive brands. Now, if my unit packed up 13 times, it still wouldn't be the same price as one of those more expensive units. I could never afford that, and I could never afford the repairs to those units either. At the same time, I'm not questioning the quality or the warranty you get with a more expensive brand. And if you're not practical and minded that you can't strip down and repair a unit or even fit it yourself, I would say pay the money out and get Herbespacher or a Webasto brand. This will do me for 1 or 2 days. Like my boat, it is old. It's not pimp. There's some real like pimp boats on the Thames now, like huge things. Loads of them. But this is like, I'm 52, this is 2 years younger. We're both a little bit worn. Yeah, it's got its faults, haven't we all? Well, this is very Shepperton. Little drinks with friends. We were spending the afternoon on this ex-police boat owned by my friends. Through the 70s and 80s, I remember many of these police boats before the police units were removed from the non-tidal Thames.
So powerful, man.
That's mental. 2 days later, we're back out on the police boat, this time for my birthday, where my Sheptonian friends had organised some drinks and food and a slow cruise, depending on who was driving, down from Shepperton to Teddington and back up again. Had a really good time. I'm not one to really celebrate my birthdays at this age, and I was even dropped off at my boat. Doesn't get better than that. Just brought the car back up with Leyland, making sure there's some mooring spaces here. That narrowboat's literally just left, so there's space behind. I think this is the only boat here, so calling the gang. When we was out on Sunday at the last locks before it goes tidal, the lock keeper said, "Oh, we're going back on yellow boards down there, just to let you know." And I've just come past the lock where I am. It's back on yellow boards there as well. You can see the eddies are back. Right, eddies. Yeah, we did have a lot of rain last night. We'll be going back on red boards at this rate. Jeez man, that's some rain. With more rain forecast, I decided the next day to head back down to Shepperton, just in case things got any worse. Luckily for me, that next day when I was moving back down, it was nice and dry. We were on yellow boards and there was rumours of possibly going back on reds, so I didn't want to take my chances. And the mooring I had been on is not the kind of mooring you want to be stuck on when the river flow gets really high. Bearing in mind that the river can go from a flow of 15 to 20 in the summer right up to around 300 or more when at peak flow or height. This was my electric scooter, Elon. I used to use it to go back and get my car. Sadly, Elon the scooter is no longer with us. I was back in Shepperton amongst friends, but it was always a dangerous place to be. Too many nights out, too much alcohol, and not enough money to keep up with it all. With river conditions back to normal, it was time to move again. I enjoy moving about, and it's also the right thing to do to free up moorings for other people. I decided to head downstream for a while, bouncing between Sunbury and Hampton Court. Sunbury for work, where I could keep my car, and Hampton Court for the weekends. First lock done. Thanks mate. Can't believe there's no lock keeper on. Bit of a spanner in the works when you're solo. But do I live a good life? Is it that bad? Not fucking really. When I got to the lock, the hotel boat, the Magna Carta, was in there, so I took over the controls of the lock and allowed them to crack on, so I could then shut the lock gates, fill it back up and get Barnum in there. I spent a lovely few days moored outside Hampton Court Palace. This is a paid mooring. The first day is free, and I believe you can stay another 3 days after that, which those last 3 days, if I remember rightly, is about £8 to £10 a night. I enjoy staying there. Gets a little bit busy at times with boats and a lot of tourists walking by, but on the right day it's a lovely place to stay. After a couple of weeks of being moored around Sunbury area and going to work and then Hampton Court on the weekends, it was time to head back up. Had a few things I wanted to sort out as I had a few big things coming up. One of those things was my mate coming over from Florida, who I'd not seen in so long. Shout out to my boy Rich, who's visiting from Florida. I've not seen him in, I don't know man, like 7 to 10 years. So it's going to be funny seeing him. I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be cool. So I was back up for a week or two, bouncing between Leyland EA mooring and about 3 to 4 moorings around Shepperton. The other thing I had coming up was I was heading back down to Hampton Court when my mate came over, because there's a station next to Hampton Court, so it's easy for him to meet me there. But after that, I'd planned a big 3-week trip going from Teddington Lock, so that's the last lock on non-tidal Thames, all the way up to Oxford. Now, Oxford is as far as I can go on my boat because of the air draft, which is the measurement from water to the top of my boat, restricts me from going under a bridge up there. I was off from work now and it was time to move back down to Hampton Court Palace, get there a couple of days early. I actually jumped on a mooring that used to be used by ferries, but you're now allowed to moor on, and you didn't have to pay for. I've got to be honest, I'm proper proud of myself for this mooring. Doing all this single-handedly. I won't say how long it took me, but the fact that I've been able to do it, use the gangplank for the first time as well. Glad I made that. But yeah, not so bad if there's like, you know, one doing the controls and one at the bow, but a bit harder when you're doing it all on your own. Harder, hey now. I was going to say, I don't think I'd attempt it in windy conditions. It is breezy today. It has caught me out at one of the locks, like pushed the bow out. But either way, it's just took my time, steady Eddie, and sort of gradually pulled it in with the ropes at the end. A few people have asked me to shut that dog up. A few people have asked about meeting up while I'm away, but you know, at the moment I don't know where I'm going to be at a particular time, other than, like I said, my mate flew in from Florida yesterday and plenty of Peronis I've bought already. Good lad. But other than that, yeah, I just don't know where, you know, what times I'm going to be at certain places. You know me, a little bit free-spirited in my old age.
Totally right, dude.
Just want to wake up and decide what I'm going to do then, you know. You see the rain? It's been an awesome day so far. I'll take a little bit of this just for a few minutes. Here we go, proper raining. Funny people over there just like panicking. Quick, run for cover. And the boat's got so dirty so quick. I don't know whether there was rain last night and there's a lot of shite in it. It didn't look like that a couple of days ago. The winters as well. It's looking a little better. It's a good thing having this hard top. Just pull that back down and that'll do. Proper coming down though, love it. After a couple of days at that mooring, I headed off downstream towards Teddington Lock. I wasn't going to go through the lock. As I said, this was essentially the first part of the non-tidal Thames. After Teddington Lock It's tidal Thames. I was going down there just to turn around because for me my trip was starting at Teddington Lock and was going to finish at Oxford before returning back down again. So yeah, a little trip down to Teddington Lock just to turn round, come back up, get moored outside Hampton Court Palace again, ready for when my mate was due to turn up the next day. It's not actually often that I do this stretch. I've never stayed in Kingston. I've heard some people say it's all right and others say it can be a bit noisy at night. I think it's just luck of the draw. Mate's turn up about 11 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be away from here late Wednesday or Thursday morning. It's cool. Yeah, it's got a nice chilled vibe to it today. Just waiting at the station. Get something to eat, man. I'm hungry. Yeah, looking forward to seeing it. It's been a long time. What are you saying? Yeah, man.
You son of a bitch.
Needless to say, it was really good catching up. Had a good laugh talking about old times. And yeah, the following day I headed off and began my trip upstream. Quick stop off at Shepperton. Get something out of my car, get a coffee. First coffee of the day, which is pretty good considering I'm kind of hungover this morning, you know. I've had to delete the sound on this because I've got music playing in the background. So this is the Thames app. It will show you the locks, the lock names. When you've got it on live, it can show you where you are in relation to the next lock. You'll see the little anchors there. They represent moorings. It doesn't necessarily show all moorings, but shows some of them. And just showing here, you can click on things like bridges and it can show you the air draft of a bridge to see if you can get your boat underneath it. As I've said before, the bridge that stops me at Oxford is called Osney Bridge. If I remember rightly, it's about 6'8", but unfortunately the air draft of my boat is about 8'4", so I've got no chance of getting under there. And the Thames stretches on past Osney Lock for quite a few locks. I think there's something like 15 to 20 locks. Been up there before on my parents' boat. Just waiting to get out of Chertsey Lock. Topped up water as well. Just waiting for these P-Narcies to get out of the way. Yeah, we're off. But yeah, doing pretty good actually. Music on again, so you got to listen to my my rough old voice. I didn't have any concrete plans of where I was going to moor each time. I had some ideas and it was sort of based on how long it was going to take, or how long it did take to get through certain locks, how busy it was and how I was feeling as well. But guess where I stayed the first night? Yep, at Runnymede. Why not? It was sort of early afternoon, so had a mess about in the river and enjoyed the evening there as always. Walk up the boat without falling in. How nice is that? So much quieter already. Only downside is that road, but probably got down another half hour and that will get almost dead. I love Runnymede. Proper nice. The sun's just disappearing behind them trees. Coming up for 5 to 9, just pulled away from the mooring. Got all the covers out of the way today. so nice already. Yeah, just going to head on up to the first lock. Lockkeeper should be on by 9 o'clock and see how far we get. I've got Cookham in mind, which I think is about 6 locks. But if I fly through those, then I may carry on. But yeah, see how it goes. Just gone through Windsor. Down the old steps, get by them. Yeah, just stuck about 70 quid worth of fuel in it. That lasts me like for ages. I normally just top it up with like a 9 litre can, like maybe during the winter quite a few times a week, because obviously I'm using a diesel heater, but during the summer once a week, maybe twice a week if I've gone any distance. But I mean, this fuel gauge has barely moved since travelling up. At this point in the day, I knew where I wanted to moor, but when I actually got to the mooring, they wanted something like £15 a night, which it wasn't a special mooring other than being by the shop, so I pushed on through another lock. Been through a lock, got moored up, a much better place. I reckon in under 20 minutes, probably 15 minutes. There was other boats going through the lock, and there was a guy there. I don't know whether he was a lock keeper about to go home, but he got that water in the lock quick. It's a nice mooring. It's £10 a night here. I may have missed it anyway. They sort of they generally come round between like 5 and 7, a lot of these places, and then they'll tap you up in the morning. So they might catch me in the morning. I'm happy to pay it. Because this is nice. Yeah, I love it. Spent the rest of the evening doing what you probably think all river people do. That's the end of this one. As always, thanks for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one.